The Shinnyo Lantern Floating Hawaii is a beautiful and moving tradition that has been celebrated in Honolulu on Memorial Day for the last 25 years. Hosted by the Shinnyo-en Buddhist order, the Shinnyo Lantern Floating is a time for reflection and remembrance as people connect with their loved ones who have passed, let go of their grief and sadness. After 3 years of not being able to hold the ceremony at Ala Moana Beach Park due to the worldwide COVID pandemic, Shinnyo-en Foundation invited 3 guests to participate in the Shinnyo-en Lantern Floating Hawaii and share their reflections on the experiences from their unique individual perspectives.
I'm Don Han from Southern California, Orange County. Originally, I'm from Laos, came to United States as refugees. Today, I work for this organization called Groundswell. Our envision is that we want to co-create a community where people feel belong and realized by all. Growing up in Buddhism, it's our tradition to do Lantern Festival. My mom was very into making lantern. She taught us how to even create a little lantern, and we would hang them in front of our house and do the floating and all that. I'm 55. 50 years later, you could say, I have this privilege to be in touch again with my heritage.
My name is Tiffany Uhila Hautau. I'm from East Palo Alto, Bay Area. My heritage is Tongan and Samoan. And I'm the executive director of a nonprofit called Anumatangi Polynesian Voices. We are helping advance system-impacted families through cultural preservation and civic engagement. Me being here is a real representation of our community.
Gene Roki Partain from Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I work at Search Institute. We are a nonprofit organization that does applied work on positive youth development and equity. My mentor and former boss was actually at a lantern floating 12 years ago. And so I heard about it from him. And then my wife and I were actually going to come for the event that was canceled for COVID. It was something she was very excited about doing. It's an opportunity to remember her and to celebrate her life, and also to have that memory as sort of bringing closure to that in some interesting ways.
The guests choose to write, draw, or place photos on their lanterns as a way to connect with those who have passed and symbolize their hope that the spirits of their ancestors and loved ones will find peace in the afterlife.
I dedicated my lantern for my mom and dad, who sacrificed everything so we can have better opportunity. The other part is for the world refugees and immigrants. I'm hoping that they'll find a new home where it's safe and welcoming for all of them. The other part is for our social justice warrior and healer. I think it's going to be very emotional. It's very touching. Yes, this is a very emotional time for us.
I plan on focusing on remembering my ancestors who have come before me. We are a very faith-based community, our Pacific Islanders, and as I put the pen on the lantern, is really acknowledging our ancestors in the past and hopefully passing it on to the future of our community.
She tried to live out hope, and we tried to live joy even as she was living with cancer. And so part of my message is, what were the messages she had and what were the prayers that she had? It is about remembering her and the way she tried to embrace people and connect with people and celebrating her life in those ways. I want to carry that, not just the sadness of losing her, but the sense of joy she tried to bring to life, and the joy and possibility and hope for other people that I'm trying to send into the world with the lanterns.
Once their lanterns were completed, the guests joined a crowd of thousands for a colorful cultural presentation, including taiko drumming, hula, and a blessing by the head of Shinnyo-en, Her Holiness Shinso Ito.
過去、現在、未来、あらゆる良き個性を生かし、そして合わせ、融和世界へ導く真如の道を開きました。
What a privilege to be in the same arena or the same park with the holiness, to see her message, to feel her passion and compassion for the world, and to have people here in Honolulu to dedicate the lantern to their loved ones, and to be here to unite as human beings is very emotional.
At the sound of Her Holiness ringing the bell, the time has come to focus everyone's thoughts and prayers and begin floating lanterns.
When I carry my lantern into the water, I have a moment of reflection of what a great feeling to be in a diverse community, what a great feeling to be amongst people that share the common ground. Right? We're here to pay tribute to our loved one and the people who have sacrificed, to pray for the people who may be unhoused or homeless or may have disparity in our society. But how can we do better to make sure that they're not forgotten?
This evening, and as I let go of the lanterns, it really gave me a sense of being one with the land this evening, right? The wind, the rainbow, the water, the rain, really just taking it all in for what it's worth and remembering my ancestors, right? The Native Hawaiians that had sacrificed everything for us to be here on their land.
As I was in the water, walking in the water, putting a lantern in with my own specific stories, my own specific grief, my own specific longings, my prayers, and all the other prayers for people from many other traditions, with many other stories and many other types of grief, and yet they were all being heard and understood in some way that I don't necessarily know I could understand cognitively, but I could understand spiritually.
I stood there for a while to try to absorb it all. And it just gave me hope that this event is more meaningful than just one day. I'm gonna take a lot back with me for a lifetime.
The feelings and the emotions that I felt were just overwhelmingly deep. Feeling that connection to other souls around you, even though we might not be able to communicate, was wonderful.
Being part of the lantern floating has been a profound experience for me, and I don't know exactly how it's going to affect me in the future, but I know it will affect me in some profound ways.
As the world emerges from a pandemic that affected so many, this year's Shinnyo Lantern Floating Hawaii was a way for our guests and those in attendance to heal through personal and collective remembrance and offering gratitude to all who have inspired and supported them. It's through this process that the Lantern Floating Hawaii gives the ability to embrace our common values and generate collective hope towards the future.